This is chapter 10 from DeLillio's White Noise. This is page 41. Tuition at the college on the hills is $14,000, Sunday brunch included. I sensed there was a connection between this powerful number and the way the students arrange themselves physically in the reading areas of the library. They sit on broad cushioned seats in various kinds of ungainly posture, clearly calculated to be the identifying signs of some kinship group or a secret organization. They are fetal-splayed, knock-kneed, on arched, square-knotted, sometimes almost upside down. The positions are so studied they amount to a classical mime. There is an element of over-refinement and inbreeding. Sometimes I feel I've wandered far into an Eastern dream, too remote to be interpreted, but it is only the language of economic class they are speaking, in one of its allowed-be outward forms, the conversation of station wagons at the start of the year. Denise watched her mother pull the little cellophane ribbon on a bonus pack of 16 individually wrapped units of chewing gum. Her eyes narrowed as she turned back to the address books on the kitchen table before her. The 11-year-old face was an expert mask of restrained exasperation. She waited a long moment and then said, "That stuff causes cancer in laboratory animals. In case you didn't know. You wanted me to choose sugarless gum, Denise? It was your idea." "There was no warning on the pack then. They put a warning, which I would have had a hard time believing you didn't see." She was transcribing names, the phone numbers, from an old book to a new one. There was no addresses. Her friends had phone numbers only. A race of people with 7-bit a long analog consciousness. "I'm happy to do it either way," Babette said. "It's totally up to you. Either I chew gum with sugar and artificial coloring, or I chew sugarless gum and colorless gum that's harmful to rats." Stiffy got off the phone. "Don't chew at all," she said. "Did you ever think of that?" Babette was breaking eggs into a wooden salad bowl. She gave me a look that wondered how the girl could talk on the phone and listen to us at the same time. I wanted to say because she finds us interesting. Babette said to the girls, "Look, either I chew gum or I smoke. If you want me to start smoking again, take away my chewing gum and my memento lithis." "Why do you have to do one or the other?" Stipe said. "Why not do neither one?" "Why not do both?" Denise said, the face carefully emptying itself of expression. "That's what you want, isn't it? We all get to do what we want, don't we? Except if we want to go to school tomorrow. We can't, because they're fumigating the place or whatever." The phone rang. Stiffy grabbed it. "I'm not a criminal," Babette said. "All I do is chew a pathetic little tasteless chunk of gum now and then." "Well, it's not that simple," Denise said. "It's not a crime either. I chew about 2 of those little chunks a day." "But you can't anymore." "Well, I can, Denise. I want to. Chewing happens to relax me. You're making a fuss over nothing." Stiffy managed to get our attention by the sheer pleading force of the look on her face. Her hand was over the mouthpiece of the phone. She did not speak, but only formed the words. "The Stovers want to come over." "Parents or children," Babette said. The daughter shrugged. "We don't want them," Babette said. "Keep them out," Denise said. "What do I say?" "Say anything you want. Just keep them out of here. They're boring. Tell them to stay home." Stiffy retreated to the phone, appearing to shield it with her body, her eyes full of fear and excitement. "A little gum can't possibly hurt," Babette said. "I guess you're right. Never mind. Just a warning on the pack." Stiffy hung up. "Just hazardous to your health," she said. "Just rats," Denise said. "I guess you're right. Never mind. Maybe she thinks they died in their sleep. Just useless rodents, so what's the difference?" "What's the difference? What's the fuss?" Stiffy said. "Plus, I'd like to believe she chews only 2 pieces a day, the way she forgets things." "What do I forget?" Babette says. "It's all right," Denise said. "Never mind." "What do I forget?" "Go ahead and chew. Never mind the warning. I don't care." I scooped Wilder off a chair and gave him a noisy kiss on the ear, and he shrank away in delight. I put him on the counter and went upstairs to find Heinrich. He was in his room studying the deployment of plastic chessmen. "Still playing with the fellow in prison? How's it going?" "Pretty good. I think I got him cornered." "What do you know about this fellow? I've been meaning to ask." "Like, who did he kill? That's the big thing today. Concern for the victim." "You've been playing chess with a man for 4 months. What do you know about him except that he's in jail for life for murder?" Is he young, old, black, white? Do you communicate at all, except for chess moves? We send notes sometimes. Who did he kill? He was under pressure, and what happened? It kept building and building. So he went out and shot someone? Who did he shoot? Some people in Iron City. How many? 5. 5 people? Not counting the state trooper, which was later. 6 people? Did he care for his weapon obsessively? Did he have an arsenal stashed in his shabby little roof of a 6-story concrete park? Did he have an arsenal stashed in his shabby little room off a 6-story concrete car park? Some had handguns and a bolt-action rifle with a scope. A telescopic sight. Did he fire from a highway overpass? A rented room? Did he walk into a bar, a washette, his former place of employment, and start firing indiscriminately? People scattering, taking cover under tables, people out on the street thinking they heard firecrackers. I was just waiting for the bus when I heard this little popping noise like firecrackers going off. He did went up to a roof. A rooftop sniper. Did he write in his diary before he went up to the roof? Did he make tapes of his voice to go to the movies? Read books about other mass murderers to refresh his memory? Made tapes. Made tapes? What did he do with them? Sent them to the people he loved, asking for forgiveness. I can't help myself, folks. We're the victims of total strangers. Was it a grudge killing? Did he get fired from his job? Had he been hearing voices? Total strangers. Had he been hearing voices? On TV. Just talking to him? Singing to him? Signaling him out? Telling him to go down in history. He was 27, out of work, divorced, with his car up on blocks. Time was running out on him. Insistent, persevering voices. How did he deal with the media? Give lots of interviews, write letters to the editor of the local paper, try to make a book deal? There was no media in Iron City. He didn't think of that till it was too late. He's as if he had to do it all over again. He wouldn't do it as an ordinary murderer. He would do it as an assassination. He would select more carefully, kill one famous person, get noticed, make it stick. He now knows he won't go down in history. Neither will I. But you've got Hitler. Yes, I have, haven't I? What's Tommy Roy Foster got? All right, he's told you all these things in the letters he sends. What do you say when you respond? I'm losing my hair. I looked at him. I wore a warm-up suit and a towel around his neck, sweatpants on his... I looked at him. He wore a warm-up suit, a towel around his neck, sweatpants on both wrists. You know what your mother would say about this chess-by-mail relationship. I know what you would say. You're saying it. How was your mother? Hear from her lately? She wants me to go out to the ashram this summer. Do you want to go? Who knows what I want to do? Who knows what anyone wants to do? How can you be sure about something like that? Isn't it all a question of brain chemistry, signaling, going back and forth, electrical energy in the cortex? How do you know whether something is really what you want, or do you just some kind of nerve impulse in the brain? Some minor little activity takes place somewhere in this unimportant place in one of the brain hemispheres, and suddenly I want to go to Montana. Or, I don't want to go to Montana. How do I know I really want to go when it isn't just some neuros firing or something? Maybe it's just an accidental flash in the medulla, and suddenly, there I am, in Montana, and I find out I really didn't want to go there in the first place. I can't control what happens in my brain, so how can I be sure of what I want to do 10 seconds from now, much less Montana next summer? It's all this activity in the brain, and you don't know what's you as a person, and what's some neuros, and what just happens to fire, or just happens to misfire. Isn't that what Tommy Roy killed those people? In the morning I walked to the bank. I went to the automated teller machine to check my balance. I entered in my card, entered my secret code, tapped out my request. The figure on the screen roughly corresponded to my independent estimate. Freebie arrived after long searches through documents, tormented arithmetic. Waves of relief and gratitude flowed over me. The system had blessed my life. I felt its support and approval. The system, hardware, the manifesting, sitting in a locked room in some distant city. What a pleasing interaction. I sensed that something of deep personal value, but not money. Not that at all. had been authenticated and confirmed. A deranged person was escorted from the bank by 2 armed guards. The system was invisible, which made it all the more impressive, all the more disquieting to deal with. But we were in accord, at least now. At least for now. The networks, the circuits, the streams, the harmonies. My gosh, I was falling apart there at the end. So that was chapter 10. We will continue on with chapter 11.